WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thanks for joining us for this special March Madness edition of WCBI News. We start off with the Mueller investigation. It's over. Now the report is in the hands of the U.S. Attorney General. CBS News correspondent Mola Linghi has more from the White House on what's next.
The Mueller report has been delivered to the Attorney General's office. The letter to members of the Senate and House Judiciary Committees says Special Counsel Robert Mueller has concluded his investigation and has submitted a confidential report explaining the decisions he has reached. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein appointed Mueller in May of 2017. His task? To investigate Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election and possible collusion between Moscow and the Trump campaign.
There was no collusion. I didn't need Russians to help me win Iowa.
President Trump has repeatedly denied he had any help from the Russians and has consistently attacked the Mueller probe.
No collusion, no nothing. Called the phony witch hunt. Phony witch hunt.
During the nearly two-year probe, Mueller has charged 6 of the president's associates with crimes ranging from lying to the FBI to tax evasion. Mueller also indicted 25 Russian nationals on charges related to hacking or disseminating false information. But it could be a while before the public learns of any of the report's details. Attorney General William Barr will send a summary to Congress as soon as this weekend and then decide which parts to reveal.
My goal and intent is to get as much information out as I can, consistent with the regulation.
The White House also wants to see the report prior to Congress. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
In news closer to home, Chickasaw County deputies say they caught a church burglar in the act. Now 22-year-old Christopher Pittman of Houston is charged with burglary. Investigators say a deputy noticed a vehicle behind Enon Church early Wednesday morning. The deputy saw a window broken out of the church and someone inside the vehicle. Pittman was immediately taken into custody and admitted to breaking in the church. Some stolen items were also recovered. Pittman's bond was set at $20,000. Sheriff James Myers says there have been other church burglaries over the past several months, and that burglary in Chickasaw County sheds light on how vulnerable some houses of worship can be. Allie Martin talks with the sheriff to get some tips on how rural congregations can protect their sanctuaries.
An alert Chickasaw County Sheriff's deputy on his way to work noticed something unusual as he drove by a church on County Road 190.
Noticed a back end of a car sitting out from behind a church out there on Enon Primitive Baptist Church. And when he pulled in there to kind of check things out, noticed that there was an individual in the car. And then when he approached the car, there were some things in the car that just kind of looked out of the way. And come to find out the church had been broken into, and that stuff was in the car had come out of the church.
22-year-old Christopher Pittman is charged with burglary of a church. Chickasaw County Sheriff James Myers says Pittman busted this window to break in. Rural churches are often easy targets because they're located in isolated areas. Still, Sheriff Myers says there are some simple and inexpensive steps congregations can take to protect their property.
When something's got light outside of it, especially at night, you can get a security light now from your local power company. It's not very much a month. And security systems used to cost a whole lot, but now you can go to discount stores and you can get a very small camera system now for a very small fee. And we tell everyone, it's worth the money.
The sheriff also encourages the public to report any suspicious activity. Unfortunately, Sheriff Myers says churches are no longer a sanctuary from crime.
Now, no place is safe anymore from thieves.
In Chickasaw County, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Myers says there have been several church burglaries in recent months. It's not yet known if Pittman is connected. He again is being held on a $20,000 bond. In other news, a Yapora man is arrested on drug charges in Clay County. 33-year-old Ralph Manis was pulled over on Highway 50 West. Sheriff Eddie Scott says deputies recovered about a gram of methamphetamine. Manis is charged with possession of meth and careless driving. His bond is set at just over $5 grand. A traffic stop in Clay County leads to a cocaine bust there. 36-year-old LaQuitra Coggins of West Point is charged with possession of cocaine, resisting arrest, and 3 traffic violations. Coggins was pulled over Thursday on Highway 45 alternate. Sheriff Eddie Scott says inside the vehicle, deputies found 1 gram of cocaine. Coggins is in the Clay County Jail. Her bond is set at nearly $11,000. An update to a story we brought you last night. A Columbus man is charged after a high-speed pursuit that started in Lamar County, Alabama. 42-year-old Randy Lee Gunter is charged with felony eluding in Lowndes County. The Millport, Alabama Police Department will charge him with attempting to elude, reckless driving, speeding, and driving with a suspended license. The chase ended on Carlene Williams Road near Caledonia yesterday afternoon, but it started in Millport. Police Chief Charles White says Gunter passed him speeding while they were going in the same direction. Speeds topped out at around 115 miles per hour. Lowndes County deputies assisted once the pursuit crossed the state line on Highway 50. Once Gunter turned down the dead-end road, the chase ended in front of a home. Now, he is the only person being charged in this investigation. The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency opens housing assistance centers in North Mississippi today. MEMA says the program is for anyone in any county impacted by tornadoes or flooding from February 19th through the 24th. This facility opened at the Trotter Convention Center in Columbus today. There's also a location in Saltillo. The program helps residents that were displaced for at least 72 hours from their homes and don't have a safe place to stay. There are a number of documents needed to apply. You can find those and a phone number on our website at wcbi.com. These centers are open from 10 until 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 6 on the weekends. You do not have to live in Columbus or Saltillo to qualify. Time now to turn things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our forecast. Keith?
Joey, look at all the sunshine. You know how gorgeous it has been, and we still have all that sunshine, blue sky across our region on our Friday evening. 537, 68 for you up there in Calhoun City, 70 or so in Louisville, 69 Tupelo, 68 in Columbus. A pretty nice day here. We're looking at temperatures cooling down into the 50s and then some 40s later on. Some of you may dip into the upper 30s, back up into the lower 70s in many spots on Saturday. Mostly sunny tomorrow, but there's a big area of low pressure out there across the Rockies, some rain and storms. We may see a little bit of rain here as we get into your Sunday and Monday. At this point, it does not look like it's going to be a big severe weather maker for us. That's certainly good news. Your full forecast coming up.
It's game day weekend times 5 in Starkville, including SEC action in baseball and the NCAA basketball tournament, and that means fans are showing up and shelling out. Our Riley Livingston takes a look at how fans plan to spend their weekend. She joins us live from Starkville with more. Riley?
Joey, it's almost like a preview to Super Bulldog weekend here in Starkville. Campus is crowded, downtown is full of shoppers, and restaurants are trying to handle all of the increase in orders. But all of that points to one thing, an increase in money.
Bulldog baseball is a big draw every spring. But add to that softball, track, tennis, and the NCAA women's basketball tournament, and it's a recipe for big business in Starkville. Local businesses are seeing a flood of customers as fans take in the sights and catch up with friends.
We've been able to walk around campus, which has been so much fun. Kind of seeing that kind of bigger school feel has been really nice to see. We've also been able to come downtown and kind of see some of the little shops that have been around. Definitely have taken in some of the local hospitality.
Well, we have a grandson who is a senior here, and we schedule time with him, and we also have grandchildren who will come in. We have a couple at Southern and some who haven't made university yet. So we try and schedule time with family and friends.
Steve Saunders tries to make it to every baseball home game, and that can start to weigh on his wallet. But he and his family find ways to save.
We're here in the Airstream, so we can cook meals here if we want to. We can go out if we don't feel like cooking, and we just pretty much handle our resources so we can do what we want to do.
All this extra traffic is having a big economic impact on the city of Starkville. but not as big as they would like. The city is working to add a 1% tax increase to help pay for park improvements. The proposal is in the Senate and waiting to be signed by the governor before going to a referendum.
It would add an additional 1% to the 2 that we're already going to collect, which builds. You know, as it builds and we bring more people in town, which is the goal, then it will build as well, and we can do more with it, which is to increase those things like adding to our parks, maintaining our parks, upgrading our parks all over town. I mean, this is just not, you know, one thing. This builds on itself. A way that we then can be very impactful with how we spend it and who gets it.
With so many athletic options, many people are planning to jump between games so they can get the full game day experience. And it's not just Starkville that's seeing an increase of business right now. There are over 40 soccer teams in Columbus for a tournament this weekend. That in combination with the events in Starkville mean that the Golden Triangle is sold out when it comes to hotels. General Manager Wayne Cawthorn says they're still seeing people trying to book a room, if not 6 rooms. But the increase in business does come with its own set of challenges.
Several processes we have to go through. We have to make sure we have enough breakfast food for all the people that's going to be here. Usually when there's teenagers or younger kids, that we have to make sure we have like more pancake mix and things like that we wouldn't normally have as much of. We have to make sure we're staffed at the front desk. We have to make sure we have plenty of people in housekeeping to come in and clean the rooms and clean up after and stock everything.
Hotel staff also has to make sure they have enough supplies. That includes towels, soap, and toiletries. Reporting live in Starkville, Riley Livingston, WCBI News.
Busy weekend in the Golden Triangle. Well, an area company finds a tasty way to say thank you to the folks who serve and protect every day. We take a look when we come back.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Joey Barnes.
Welcome back. A North Mississippi hospice company says thanks to law enforcement officers with a morning treat. Southern Care Hospice provided coffee and donuts for police officers this morning at the entrance to Fair Park in downtown Tupelo. The company has community service projects on a regular basis and wanted to take the time out to brighten the morning of officers as they were either getting off work or going to work.
What better way is by saying thank you to those that serve and protect our families, protect our communities, and as a hospice company, we just want to show our appreciation.
Next month, Southern Care Hospice will hold a yard sale. Proceeds go back to patients.
All right, we have some clouds that will be on the increase during our day Saturday. A chance for a few showers there as we get into your Sunday. Details on all of this coming up next.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
The weekend upon us Saturday, oodles of sunshine, low 70, 72 degrees. It's still about 71 on Sunday, a 30% chance for some showers, more clouds, but overall we can hack it here as we get into the weekend. Right now, a live view in downtown Louisville, Mississippi at 5:48. Look at all of that blue sky. We had a few wispy cirrus clouds out there today, but nothing is going to stop us from seeing the International Space Station this evening. It flies in at 7:44 from the southwest, visible for 6 minutes. It will get up to about 66 degrees above the horizon, then exits to the northeast. So just look for that fast-moving star as we go throughout the early evening. Now let's rehash the snow situation. We are done with snow, I think, here in the Deep South. That's the way it would appear. Florida, the only state not seeing snow this winter, but every other state, including Hawaii, getting in on the action. And notice these brighter colors. You get to the yellow, that is at least a foot of snow. Obviously, a lot more snow across the northern U.S. And still, snow flying here. Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, New England. Winter holds on. But for us, we've enjoyed all that sunshine. There's our next little weather maker out there across the Rocky Mountains. But that will not really be a severe weather maker for us. It looks like it has that potential from afar. But as we get in and look at the track of this, it's just really not going to set up and give us one of those big systems. Always a nice little treat. But there is some severe weather out there in the Texas Panhandle right now. A little treat to have a system come on in here this time of year and not really do anything crazy for us. We'd love to see that. 68 degrees in Columbus, 69 Birmingham, 74 in Shreveport right now. Your Saturday by 10 o'clock, sunny, 55, 1 o'clock. Pushing 70, partly cloudy, 72 at 4. Great weather for the MSU baseball game tomorrow. It's looking pretty good across the region. Low to mid 60s early tomorrow evening. So there you go. Upper 60s north, maybe some low to mid 70s in the south. Winds about 4 to 8. So overall, we can deal with this. And as we check out the region, mid 70s towards south, cooler lower 60s, still mostly sunny up there in Nashville. So now let's talk about what's going to be happening with old Futurecast here. Notice how the clouds will start to encroach upon our area tomorrow. Some of those higher clouds, no rain with those. As we get into Saturday night, Sunday morning, a chance for some showers, especially northwest of Columbus, it looks like. That's the way it's going to set up this weekend. Higher odds of rain north and west of Columbus, but even that on Sunday, just about 30%. As we get into Monday, a front will move on through. Some timing issues with this, but there will be a chance for some showers and storms on Monday, and then another big area of high pressure, a cool area of high pressure will build on in for the middle of next week. So we may still see some additional nights next week down into the 30s to low 40s. But overall, that's our AccuWeather 7-day forecast, a bit of a roller coaster ride. Nothing too controversial over the next week.
It's go time for March Madness for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I'll be live here in San Jose, California with a preview next in sports.
WCDI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Welcome here outside the SAP Center in San Jose, California. It's March Madness time for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. They tip off in just about half hour or so, 6:27 Central Time. But in case you missed it about a half hour ago, our own Courtney Robb recapped the Ole Miss Rebels falling 95-72 to the Oklahoma Sooners in the first round. So what does that mean? Ole Miss is the first SEC team to lose in the NCAA tournament. The 5 out of 6 so far. So up next is Mississippi State taking on Liberty. What does the Flames do well? Ball control and lack of turnovers. They're top 20 nationally in both offensive efficiency and turnover margin. So who else to give a better scouting report on Liberty than Mississippi State? I spoke to some of the players on what they expect from the Flames in about a half hour.
They're very patient with the ball. You know, they'll swing it, move it, and wait till somebody gets open for a great look, a great shot.
They belong here, and you know, they slow the game down, play with a nice pace, and they shoot the ball well, and they defend well. So, you know, we got our work cut out for us.
I think the game we played in Jackson was kind of like the team how Liberty play, slow it down, play a lot of half-court offense, try to control the pace of the game, and don't really let teams get out in transition. But I think if we do our part and we can control our pace and how we want to play, I think we'll have a good outcome.
The team Quindary referenced in Jackson was Wright State back in December. That actually was a really close ball game. Mississippi State winning that one 67-62. Wright State same style, ball control, limit the turnovers, and keep teams out of transition. But also later tonight at around approximately 8:30 in Starkville, the Mississippi State women's basketball team taking on Southern in its first round matchup of the NCAA tournament. Mississippi State and Southern, it looks like a mismatch, and it probably is. Southern defeating Jackson State in the SWAC championship to get into the tournament. So Mississippi State looking to get onto the road to the Final Four one more time, taking on Southern. That game approximately at 8:30 tonight. So in case you missed it at 5, we'll be talking more about the NCAA tournament coming up at 10 with more from Mississippi State men here in San Jose, Mississippi State women in Starkville, and the Ole Miss Rebels falling to Oklahoma in Columbia, South Carolina. In case you missed the report about a half hour ago, go over to our website, WCBI.com. So March Madness is here. We'll keep it rolling here on WCBI Sports at 10. Reporting here outside the SAP Center in San Jose, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. We'll send it back, or we'll have last look at your forecast coming up next.
WCBI Sports coverage of the NCAA tournament is brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Bank first, a better way to bank. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Look at that sunshine on Saturday. We'll call it mostly sunny, maybe a few higher clouds in the afternoon, but a great day to be outdoors.
Yes,
Sunday,
yesterday, today.
still relatively mild, but there could be a little bit of rain around, so overall okay.
Yeah, a pretty good looking weekend there. We could get used to this, right?
Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be. All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.